So I looked up the Night Riders Snowmobile Club, and they have a website, and it featured about 24 photographs, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But for now, I want to show you a few photographs so you could see this one individual, and he's wearing a fur hat and a jacket that says Livingston's, and he is the individual that is most frequently shown in the Night Riders photographs. So I looked up the Livingston's website on the internet, and under About Us, it had this to say. So over the past 50 years, they have sold many products, from chainsaws to mini bikes, but their constant thoroughbred has always been selling Arctic Cat snowmobiles and repairing cars. So during most winters, they will employ 20 or more mechanics in the sled shop alone. So they recently turned their company into a limited liability company and are now known as Livingston Sales LLC. So they have a pretty basic website, and most of it is geared to sell Arctic Cat snowmobiles. So as I was walking through Hillsboro, I got footage of the Livingston's snowmobile place. So I walked all through that area, and I could say that it fits right into Hillsboro. So the first thing I would like to point out is that when you walk up to this facility, you don't know where to go. If you were interested in buying a snowmobile or something else they have out in front of this place, they do not make this business too customer oriented. They don't have a sign that says open or office or sales room floor. Instead, they have a bunch of buildings with old signs on it that don't really identify what they are. So they have this garage, and there are 2 closed bays and a big sign that says Arctic Cat, and underneath that is a soda machine, and to the left of that may be a window. And then off to the side of this garage, there is a little blue building with a dumpster right in front of it, and then someone has pulled a car in front of the door to kind of hide the door and to really cut off all access into that building. So I guess they don't want anyone to go into there. So I walked down this driveway, and on the right there's a dozen or so snowmobiles that look like they're more late model snowmobiles that you would expect in a dealership. And they lead to a white house. So you can see this small white house style building with a couple of signs. So I guess that may be the sales office, but nothing really marks that building as a place to go for sales. But I guess that would be it. There is a sign that says, "Attention customers, Livingston Sales will be responsible for trailers and snowmobiles only. Please do not leave personal items in your trailers, such as oil, belts, clothing, helmets, etc." They have a stack of tires and an old cardboard box leaning on the side of what I assume to be the sales office. There is a stack of tires that seem to be purposely barricading the side door. So I'm now walking down a road that leads between a series of garage style buildings. The white sales office building has what appears to be another building attached to it, a red barn type building, and the door is painted red and has what looks like a kitchen cabinet door handle attached to it. So it appears as if you cannot unlock and open this door from the outside. It appears as if it could only be opened from the inside. There is what appears to be a doorbell next to this door. After that, there is a white door that also appears as if you cannot open it from the outside. There is a quad parked halfway in front of that door, as if to partially barricade that door or discourage people from going near that door. In the alleyway between the buildings is a moped. Next is a green barn or shed-style building with another quad parked in front of it, and also a John Deere riding lawnmower. Next is a white garage-style building with a quad, a snowmobile, and a Stampede off-road vehicle parked in front of it. The whole property is filled with old quads and snowmobiles that are just parked around the premises and do not appear to be for sale. Again, it suggests that there is no order to this place or even the will to sell some of this equipment that they've managed to acquire. In my opinion, this is very strange due to the fact that there are a series of random vehicles, a moped, a quad, a rider lawnmower, a snowmobile, an off-road vehicle, and all of these are parked outside of these garage-style buildings. And what this looks like is that a bunch of kids all left their toys outside in front of the garage again, instead of a mechanic's garage that specializes in selling snowmobiles. There is a back lot filled with a dozen or more trailers, and I believe that these trailers are used for hauling snowmobiles. There is a lot in the rear of this garage-style building, and it is filled with 20 or 30 snowmobiles, all that appear to be somewhat new. However, 4 quads are parked on the roadside as if to kind of obstruct the view of all these snowmobiles. There is a light post on the top of the garage with a security camera on it. If you look past this lot, you can see a back area lined with what appears to be opened box-style delivery trucks and supply trailers. And someone has taken a bike and thrown it on the top of one of these supply trailers. As you can see, this lot is behind a brown garage-style building, and it has a sign on it that says Arctic Cat Gone Wheelin' Sales Event. And then I guess someone being influenced by the shadows on the building has decided to paint trees on the side of this garage. And then there's appeared to be some type of reptile or animal climbing up one of these painted trees. And once again, you do not know what these buildings are used for. You don't know if there's a showroom in there or if it's just used for auto mechanics. One last note is if you look at this lot, all the snowmobiles are all parked toward the building so that you can't really see them. And they look like late model snowmobiles. Many appear to be used. And again, they are all facing the back of the building as if the Livingstons do not want these to attract any attention. So that seems odd if all of these are legally acquired and are just being prepared for resale. You think that you'll want to park them facing out to get anyone's attention who may frequent your business. Next is a middle field, and it is filled with hundreds of snowmobiles. And these appear to be slightly older, judging by the ones that are closest to the road. And I'll say maybe from the 80s or early 90s. So I know that you cannot really see it with this camera angle, but literally this was an ocean of older model snowmobiles, all left outside to rust at the Livingston's location. So it appears like some sort of bizarre collection. And scattered around the whole area are dozens of old trucks, box trucks, trailers, and pickup trucks. So while viewing this, keep in mind that this place is advertised as a snowmobile dealership that also does auto mechanics. So this is not a scrapyard. This is not a metal recycling plant or even a junkyard. So to leave things in this state suggests a psychotic person running the place who wants to pointlessly collect masses of snowmobiles that they will then leave outside to slowly become destroyed by the weather, instead of someone who is in the business of repairing them for resale. If you do a search on the internet for snowmobile parts, you will find dozens of websites that will sell you snowmobile parts, and also all the manufacturers as well. So to think that all of these snowmobiles will be left in this state just to be used for parts is the same thing as expecting to see junkyards behind auto mechanics' garages. When you bring your car in to be repaired, the auto mechanic is not going to go into the junkyard and start looking through all the vehicles and then go to all the trouble of removing a specific part out of some old broken car that he doesn't even know will work, and then install that into your car being repaired and hope that it will all work out fine. Every mechanic that I know who is repairing a vehicle will have to order the part either from an auto parts store or sometimes from the manufacturer. So it is just crazy to assume that they are going to fill an entire field with old snowmobiles because they may need a part sometime in the future. All over the area are left old junk box trucks, trailers, vehicles that all appear to be rusting and slowly falling apart. There is a large pile of tires, and then on the right are about 6 huge stacks of pallets and flattened snowmobile crates that line the side of the road. Once again, this suggests some sort of sick hoarding mentality instead of a process of getting rid of these old crates in an orderly way. It appears as if that too has become some sort of strange collection by the owners of Livingston's, who are apparently keeping large stacks of low quality scrap wood for unknown reasons. Next on the left is a giant pile of scrap metal. Some of this, I believe, are ramps for snowmobiles. Yet found among these piles of scrap metal are toolboxes, children's bikes, washing machines, car jacks, gas tanks, and muffler and exhaust systems. It looks like a collection of scrap metal waiting to be shipped over to the scrapyard, where it will be weighed out and then purchased as scrap metal. However, with a pile of scrap metal this large and filled with things so random, you wonder how large will this stack have to become before they decide to haul it off to the scrapyard. And second, why is this all being carted over here? I could understand the snowmobile ramps. However, the rest of it seems odd, like this place is involved with scavenging, where even a little kid's bike is thrown on top of the scrap metal pile.